the Bible and in thousands of years of church tradition. Love matters more. Love feels like love. When I was a pastor, I had a weekly class for atheists called For Skeptics Only. It was held during the service on the weeks when I wasn't preaching. I was one of 5 teaching pastors. It was a place for non-believers to go when their spouse and/or family wanted to attend church, but they didn't want to sit in the service and strain their face from all the eye rolling. It was a 10-week class where we went through all the common objections to Christianity and talked about them. Our goal was just to help people see that they could be atheists and express their doubts in the church, and God wouldn't strike them down. It was a success. Over several years, we achieved 0 strikedowns. One time, a woman named Carol came in for the first session, and within 30 minutes, she was in tears. We started the class with everyone sharing about why they were there. Most of them said it was because they didn't believe and were hoping to have a place to talk and avoid the service, but not Carol. She couldn't answer the question because she really wasn't sure why she was there. She said she thought she was a Christian. She had been a Christian her whole life, but lately she had questions. Questions about evolution, about homosexuality, about why bad things happen to good people. And her family, in an effort to speak the truth in love, told her she probably wasn't a Christian anymore, and she should come to the class to get straightened out. She was thrown into a time of self-doubt. She was devastated. Her family thought they were doing what was right. They had been taught that since people go to hell for believing the wrong things, the most loving thing they could do for Carol was to tell her she was getting it wrong and then provide the list of right things to believe. There are 2 problems with this. First, the Bible doesn't say people go to hell for not believing the right things. The idea that when we die, we're all going to sit down and be given a number 2 pencil so we can fill in the heavenly SAT is utterly foreign to the Bible. When Jesus speaks about punishment at all, it's reserved for religious people who judge, Matthew 7:1, religious people who force other people to obey a bunch of rules, Matthew 23:7, or religious people who say the right things but don't show up for people in need, Matthew 25. But secondly, telling people your opinion about their beliefs isn't the most loving thing you can do. On a list of the most loving things you can do for another human being, showering them with your enlightened opinion is probably around number 138 on the list, right after regifting them a present you didn't want but have convinced yourself they will love. The truth-telling my friend in the class received didn't feel like love. There's a word for people telling you they love you, while what you experience is actually only pain and loneliness. Abuse. And doing it all in the name of truth doesn't change that. Honest conversations about how we experience people or how we feel about others can be an important part of love, even crucial. But something is out of whack when I hear story after story of people being hurt by people who are just telling the truth in love. In both of my stories above, the people's intentions were good. Pastor Richard wanted me and John to know how important it is to bring people to Jesus. Carol's family wanted to make sure she ended up in heaven with them. Most of the time, people do genuinely think they are telling the truth in love. But there is a broken system at work. Too often, we think we are being loving when we aren't. And one of the reasons for that broken system is that we've misunderstood the relationship between truth and love. What do people mean by love when sharing something hurts the person standing right in front of them? What do people mean by truth when there are so many different opinions out there about what it means to be Christian? If we can't come up with better answers to those questions than the ones currently circulating, and if we can't come up with better ways of behaving with other human beings who don't think exactly like us, we can expect to see even more people rightly walk, or more accurately limp, away from the Christian faith. While the impulse to tell the truth in love often springs from a desire to help people avoid mistakes that may hurt them in the long run, our telling often adds control, discomfort, and fear into the mix, and the impulse gets turned upside down. The intention may be good, but can easily become a sneaky way to tell people why they're wrong about their lives so we can feel more certain in our own positions and feel good about our own moral standing before God. To figure this out, we need to start with the idea of absolute truth. The idea that we can know with certainty everything there is to know about the world. We need to create a new vision for the Christian life that is built not on the safety and certainty of our opinions, but on the risk and uncertainty of love. We need to start there. Only God knows it's an elephant. There is an